beat
Bring
back
that beat, DJ.
Indeed.
Welcome back to the Fourcast. We review movies, documentaries, films in a completely different way, for different perspectives. We ain't gonna lie, we got all type of sound issues.
Type of sound issues and technical difficulties. That's probably because the title of the movie. Probably because the title of the movie is "The Devil You Know," and the devil trying to get busy tonight.
When the devil try to get busy, you know you're doing the Lord.
Wow.
Did you just slap the camera?
Wow.
All right, so tonight we're gonna be doing the Devil You Know. Omar Epps, Mike, I think it's Mike Ely. Yep. Just came out on Amazon Prime. Been on the list for us to do, so we're looking forward to doing this tonight. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. We're live on multiple platforms right now, so you can watch us on BS3 TV, on Roku, and make sure to add that. Or you can check out the website, which is BS3TV Live.
Reverend K-Dub is in the building.
Reverend. Also, we're on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, please do us a favor. Click that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And we're coming at you tonight with another hot one. Let's get to some of the chat. We got Theodora Harper in the building first. In the building, we got Chief Rocket, who is back Mondays 9 to 12 Central or 9 to 11 Central. With
Hang on, let me correct you. Let me correct you. That's Blue Streak Freak. That ain't Theodora. We done changed that.
Was that on Queen 3 and
Kings? That was on Queen 3 and Kings. That is a different person now. We don't call that Theodora. How dare you disrespect Blue Streak Freak like that?
Wow.
Reverend.
Is A-Trap doing some sign language over there or something?
I think he's saying time out.
Yes. He's saying put it.
You can only take
20 seconds.
Wow.
What you saying? Wow.
What's the problem?
Wow.
Because of what you didn't hear what Mayhem said?
No, I didn't.
Good. Keep on moving.
I ain't hear nothing.
Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all do not want to hear it. Go ahead.
What happened? Did I interrupt something?
Reverend Dr. K-Dub in the building just became a reverend online. So she could be doing online weddings and online baby showers and online christening.
Right on. Amen. Amen.
Peace and blessings to you all. Well, wait till as we getting through this show, your tone gonna change as the night go on. Don't worry. Charlotte Wilson in the building. Thank you for tuning in. And Pastor Dodd is in the house in the building. Thank you for tuning in.
Alfred.
What's up, Pastor? And Charlotte Wilson, the best voice on Built for This Network. Charlotte Wilson, make no mistake about it.
It's true.
We ain't seen you in a while. Just Joe, appreciate you for coming through. Joe from Houston, like we like to call the anus of Texas, is where Joe is.
Joe from Broadview, man. He's from Chicago.
That's where he lived though. He lived though.
Actually, he in Chicago.
Oh, he in Chicago right now? Did he move back to Chicago?
Temporarily.
Oh, okay. All right, so welcome to the show tonight. Let's go around the room. How's everybody doing? K-Rap, how you doing tonight?
I guess that's his answer.
I guess so. You must be feeling good. Feeling good in the hood. Just Joe says Dallas air stinks. Depending on where you are.
What?
Now, if he's going past like a water treatment facility, yes. But other than that, I'm like,
if you pass the dump, Yeah, it's gonna stink.
What?
I don't know about that, Joe.
Now the water treatment facilities, yeah.
You got to come back, Joe. We gotta treat you.
I don't know what he's talking about, man.
I don't know, just Joe, that way to say what I want to say right now. We're gonna let him make it. Okay, I'm just gonna say this, just Joe. Don't come for Dallas. Don't come for Dallas right now.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Go ill, man. Tell him, Joe. Go ill,
man.
Yeah. They said, "Yeah, I'm in the shop for the summer." Charlotte said, "Thank you, Doc. You're the sweetest." I don't know about that. Black Swan is in the building. She normally comes in after the show. You laughing at T-Rock?
What Chief doing, man? What Chief Rock doing, man?
Was that cherry chapstick you was just rubbing on your mind? See, we need to address this about men not being comfortable drinking fruity drinks, using cherry chapstick, scented lotion, whatever. This is 2000. This is 2022, baby, and I'm comfortable in my manhood. So yeah.
You'd rather not have your lips looking ashy.
And I don't like stuff that smell like mentholatum, man. smell like ass on your mouth. Hell, I don't want that.
Like your mama used to do, she used to dip her hand.
Yeah, you don't want his lips smelling like camphor
rub it all over your face. Hey,
yeah,
Chief, we got
well, that's right in line behind Robitussin and Benadryl. Well, matter of fact, it may be just ahead of Benadryl.
It helped everything.
We can see you, Chief. We can see you, Chief, this season. Don't worry, y'all not gonna be anywhere near good. Y'all gonna be at the bottom.
Look at this, man.
F Dallas.
What Chief Rocker doing, man? What are you doing, man?
Chief is a Giants fan. He don't like anything Dallas besides the women.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, man.
What side of Chicago?
Your mother's on the west side too, boy.
Hot dog water.
Big Illinois. Talking about where you live. Big Illinois is complaining about where he lives.
Nah, his mama know my mama from the west side. We were raised on the north side. You're gonna get up off the west side.
All right, so the devil you know. Let me go back around. We made it to K-Rap Mayhem. How you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Doing pretty good. Doing all right.
Good.
Ready for this review? Should be a good one.
Definitely. Mayhem starting on a positive note, so should be good. Should be good tonight.
CJ ought to be happy about that.
And,
right on.
King Doc, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good. Dealing with a small little toothache situation, but other than that, I'm good.
Good. All right, so the devil you know, it's on Amazon Prime. You do have to pay. It's about $6. It's not that much. Support Black films. This is a pretty much an all Black film. I can't think of a. I guess you want to call the Theo Rossi cat. I don't know. He may be mixed.
Yeah,
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Okay, so this is all Black film.
The victim was white.
Yeah, that family.
Right.
What are you doing in my house?
Remember, he played the Latino cop in that movie we watched where the kid got killed. You know,
that was him.
America's King.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. That was him. Where he was seeing it their way instead of our way. So he's done real well at playing the asshole the last couple of shows that seen him in.
He was also in the True Story, right?
Yep.
He was the crazy fan.
And then he
that's right. You sure right.
Crazy fan in True Story.
Yeah.
He's been in Sons of Anarchy and Luke Cage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in Sons of Anarchy. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some initial thoughts. A-Trap, let's kick it to you first.
It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed the story. I found myself looking at Omar Epps funny. Not funny, but like just watching his progression. First time I saw Omar Epps, he was in a HBO movie. It was called First Time Felon. And I was watching it, and they were using all the Chicago slang wrong. but for some reason it just kept resonating with me. It was maybe a C movie. And then I'm just looking at it, and then I realized why it resonated with me. He's playing this guy named Greg Yans. Greg Yans is our quarterback my freshman year in high school.
Wow.
Wow. And he was playing that guy.
He was playing that guy. It was the movie about Greg Yans' story.
Wow.
And I'm like, why is this? Because I'm listening to his name, and they keep calling him Yans. And I'm like, I only know one Yans in Chicago. You can tend to watch stuff. I only know one Yans.
Yeah,
it was Greg. Y'all hit Greg Yans. Yeah, it was Greg Yans' life story. Yans is always a super cool dude.
Wow.
So, yeah, I really appreciated this movie. It just showed. I appreciate the fact that it was us telling our story, executively produced by Michael Ealy and Omar, partially written by Michael Ealy, and it was just and it's a dude who from Gary, Indiana, which is right down the street, like 30 miles down the road, like a half hour away. He directed it. He's the same dude who directed one of those Star Wars episodes, and he the dude who did Luke Cage. So it was I liked it. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
That's what's up. I didn't know that. I didn't know Ely was a part of the production of it. But yeah, this was I was definitely looking forward to this one. Yeah, Rossi played in Luke Cage and Army of the Dead, same character. Laugh out loud. Ready Kev in the building. Thank you. Go ahead.
And so H-Rap mentioned looking at Omar Epps, and maybe he had the same effect I had because I had trouble explaining it. And I think maybe what it is for me is that when I was looking at him, his age, and he's one of those skinny dudes that put on a little weight, but it only shows in his face and his stomach. And it makes him look a little different, and I'm like trying to figure out, niggas, you fat or you? What is you? But we forget Omar Epps, man, like the 90s. Omar Epps owned the 90s with movies with movies like Juice and The Program. A lot of people don't remember he played in one of my favorite part ones was Major League, but he played in part 2 of Major League. Him and Wesley Snipes but played basically the same part in that movie, but just in different versions of it. He was in Higher Learning with Ice Cube, Don't Be a Menace, Scream 2, The Mod Squad, The Wood,
say, Scream 2?
Love and that's all that before we even get to Love and Basketball, which some people would pick that first, Love and Basketball. So yeah, man, he's been in quite a few things, man. And like I said, some of his latest stuff, like once you get past 2000, he doesn't have a lot of big hits. He was in some decent movies, but they weren't huge. So I would say the 90s was the decade of Omar Epps for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate this comment, Reverend. Just an FYI, the lady Tasha that hooked up Marcus Omar and Eve is Omar Epps' real life wife. She used to sing
Keisha Epps, I believe.
Total. Really, that's her? The one that was in Total. I don't know. Wow. I know something new.
Yeah.
Every day.
And she doesn't look like she's aging as well as Omar, though.
Yeah, I agree with this 100%. I didn't want to. I looked at that Rotten Tomatoes and I was like, "It's no way. This cast is too talented for this to be 33%." I didn't believe.
We didn't even talk about Vanessa Bell. We didn't even.
Right, she looked good too, man.
I'll be quiet. Never mind.
All right, go ahead, man. I'm gonna kick it to you.
I was hoping one of the titties was gonna flop out, but they didn't flop out.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why they didn't, because she had breast cancer and had one removed.
That's okay.
Oh my God!
I got 2 eyes for one.
Way to bring down the room.
No, that's okay. I got 2 eyes for one titty.
I can't handle it, man.
What's wrong?
Nothing wrong, man. Here go the Mayhem. What did I do, character?
I'm just saying.
Mayhem, we all know and love. All right, initial thoughts.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Yes, you couldn't be.
No, I thought it was done like I thought it was done well. I kept having 4 Brothers kind of vibe. just gosh, man, it was just reminding me of those moments where it was like a heist went wrong, or one of you gonna snitch, or one of you gonna cave in. It just had that feel to it where I enjoyed it. Typical, like, not like cops and robbers, but it was more like the police. They gonna come down on you. They gonna keep pressing one of you to give up your homeboys or something like that. But I thought it was done pretty good for what it was. I enjoyed it. It wasn't terrible. I mean, you got some pretty well known actors in this role. I mean, some big names in here. So no, it was done.
Okay.
I thought.
When we put our Fourcast produced movie out, I do not want the critics. We're not going to celebrate at the strip club when the critics come back and say it wasn't that terrible. That's not what we're going for here.
It was. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Rev.
Thank you, Redman.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rev. Appreciate it. And when is Holy Communion? Because I need some of them crackers.
Right. We got with the saltines and the grape
Sunday.
Saltine crackers, Nabisco. I need all of them.
Right. That stale grape juice they've been sitting in the attic at the church since '95. It's wine now. But,
yeah.
So I was looking forward to this, especially with Omar Epps. It seems like we haven't seen him in a lot of stuff lately, so it was good to see him.
Well, he did have that one that it was on Netflix. He was playing that psycho dude. He was obsessed with that, which was actually pretty long.
He did really good in that.
Good. Yeah, that Nia Long movie, that was pretty good.
Fatal Affair is what that was called.
Yeah. It had a good storyline from the preview, and also he was in Power. He's been in Power. Good point.
Oh, okay.
But you remember Hirsch from True Story?
Yeah,
that was Kevin Hart's bodyguard. He was in this. That dude's a good actor.
I think he did good in this too. Yeah, I think he did pretty good.
So I thought it was well done. I'm not gonna say it was great, but I will say I was gonna support regardless, and I was gonna watch to the end regardless. And it did have some surprising moments. I'll say that because it was kind of predictable for a little while, and then we had some surprising stuff. So
it was definitely. It was like the typical, I was down on my luck. I'm trying to bounce back, that kind of thing. I'm trying to hold down a job. I'm trying to do right, but there was definitely some twists I wouldn't expect it. So I think
kind of similar to True Story, because True Story was like was simple. I mean, and then the moment where he choked out what's the name of that character?
You're talking about oh gosh.
I put a pretty aggressive message in the private chat since you MFers ain't looking at it.
I saw it.
I got to produce on that. Well, try responding, man. So I know y'all got it.
I missed it.
I saw it.
I see. We got time.
Got me talking in caps to you, man.
I didn't see it. I saw the message. I didn't see what the message was about.
All right. So as we're going into it, so they go in to kind of rob this place. I like that opening because you didn't know who it was. You didn't know where this was going. So I like that opening. They were all just basically, all you could see is a silhouette of them. You didn't know who they were. You didn't know you heard their voices, but it was at the very beginning, of the film. So I like that aspect of it. So go ahead. Was you talking about the opening?
So you don't know. Yeah, you don't know who voices that you're hearing.
Right.
And when we saw the silhouettes, do y'all remember whether it was 2 or 3 silhouettes?
It was 3.
Okay, but did y'all pay attention? See, I'm with Wilkes, and I remember that, but I didn't pay attention to the number of silhouettes because if I did, maybe I would have known all along some important information later on. Right?
I didn't catch that in the beginning. I didn't really see that in the beginning. I felt like they put more emphasis on that when they did more flashbacks.
No doubt.
I appreciate you.
I noticed it.
There. Go ahead.
I noticed it, and partially because I have an idea for a movie script. it's in my head, and that's kind of how my story starts. Not with that exact same thing, but
Yeah.
it's along those lines. It's showing something from that's going to be vital at the
Right.
very beginning.
Yeah. It's like
I
you have to
love
circle
those
back.
aspects. I love those aspects in the movie where they give you something at the beginning, then they come back to it, and you know, it kind of catches your memory. You gotta remember those kind of
Mhm.
key things. Anybody viewing on Facebook? I don't know it's. I guess it's something different with Facebook right now. If you're viewing on Facebook at all, please click this link I just posted. If you don't see it, it's let me put it up on the screen here. But it's chat.restream.io/FB for Facebook, so we can see who you are. Sometimes we're able to see you, sometimes we're not. So click that so we can see you.
I can shed some light on the subject on what's happening. What they're doing is they're activating the 5G from the vaccinations took, and so that's why they're making you click this button again.
Wow.
Yeah, real serious too. Yeah, you
Wow.
have to drop some knowledge.
Man.
We might have some,
Wow.
we might have some. He said, "Hey,
So
TJ,
click
that was
right
good,
here.
buddy."
So click right here. So this activation to go, man.
Next thing you know,
Wow.
warning, Real Robinson.
Man.
I love it.
All right, so they go in the house, and I'm thinking, okay, they're like, oh, they're there. You know, they were supposed to be on vacation. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking, all right, they got to turn around. It was like, well, we already here, and I'm like, what? You already here? So they basically just go in and kill everybody except the kid. So that's
Yeah, it's like,
at
what?
the beginning. I'm like, okay, where is this going from here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Whoops.
No, I was gonna say it was kind of like, what were you expecting? Like to find a safe or something with like jewels or money? I mean, I don't like. I didn't really, I didn't get that part either. But then I guess it was like, man, this wasn't part of the plan. So unfortunately, you know, we can't leave nobody alive. Unfortunately, we here now.
You all
So
got it.
I mean, we're gonna try to beat the kid and unconscious, but one of those things. But I don't know. Unless they felt like when they beat the kid, maybe they felt like he was gonna everybody was gonna be dead, so nobody could say anything. But I guess they didn't really expect. Oh well, he gonna survive or whatever. So it was just kind of I don't know what they were really after. But
That ain't what got him caught anyway. But go ahead, A-Trap.
right,
I see you
right,
was waiting to chime in.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with what he's saying. Only thing that's kind of disappointed me about that is, well, not disappointed. More something stood out with me about that is the cop who was there with Michael Ealy even said we thought the kid was dead too until he took a breath.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think they tried to leave. I don't think they wanted to leave any witness.
Right. But isn't that funny though? That ain't what got him caught, leaving him alive, and what was the problem?
That's not even that's not even the detail that got him caught. Yeah,
kinda, because remember what probably made Omont turn states.
Oh, you know what? You're right. He said
TV.
something about the baseball cards. The kid did, and the kid was dead. He wouldn't have said anything about the baseball card.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Well, Drew. Yeah, had the cards on the table. Yeah, had some random cards. Like, yeah, he gave it to me at the barbershop.
Right,
like, right. And knowing his brother, he knew that his brother wasn't just gonna say, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Right.
He was obviously gonna look into it. So
yeah, he don't care about nothing like that.
So it brings me to the Black family. No, but
I know what I'm saying.
Sort of.
Why wouldn't you hide the cards though?
Yeah, you would put them in
the closet. Left them on the table.
Yeah, for no matter who might come by there. But anyway, so check this out. This brings me to this point about the Black family speak and how we live, and why Rotten Tomatoes might have given it 33%, because in our community, so much of what we do is subtle. Right, it's unspoken, so to speak. Right. And while we're watching a movie, which is probably what your audience score was at 80-some%, because it was mostly us watching it, probably, right? We understand some of those subtleties, but Hollywood or the powers that be and that be watching this stuff from a Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb stamp, they don't get some of those subtleties, that we may have gotten.
Right.
True.
Oh, absolutely.
True. Yeah. So,
and I just wanted to point out to kind of what Doc was saying. I'm, to see this, the fact that you're still meeting as a family to have dinners. I mean, you're still sitting around the table, coming over. I guess I don't. They didn't really say what day or Sunday or what it was, but the fact that you're still having these dinners as a family, like it looks like it's maybe throughout the week or on the weekend. I mean, I have to say, when I was growing up, there was a family across the street where they would have Scrabble night. So, I mean, they would come together and play Scrabble with, when their parents were still living, and the kids definitely older than me. They grown adults, but with their own kids. So to see this, it was kind of one of those things where, like he said, we would understand that because, sometimes your sister or your brother, we may stop by during the week or just hang out or whatever, because we were still trying to be that close. We were trying to still kind of keep that together. Both our parents still living. Why the hell not? Kind of one of those things, so.
yeah.
Oh, Scrabble. Most black folks' family get together and they have squabble night. They thought you were saying, let's get together and squabble.
Yeah, no.
But you were saying Scrabble.
That's after a few crowded Coke. That was
y'all can quit fighting now.
That's after a few crowded Coke.
Stop fighting now.
When they spell the wrong there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you brought that up, Whoops, because the black family meals, man, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Being able to sit down with your family on a Sunday,
right?
I got an echo somebody, but be able to sit down on Sunday, eat with your family, your family over there, your kids over there, and you're there probably from 3 to 11.
Oh, easy.
11 at night.
Easy. Yeah.
And so I brought back memories. Yeah, it's never right. Yeah. Now, when they were walking out Drew, did y'all get the house party vibe when he was basically stumbling out and they were trying to carry him?
Yeah.
I'm about to get those digits.
Yes. Yes.
I was mad he didn't stick him in the screen door, but there wasn't nobody there in his house, so you couldn't just let him lean on the door until he fell in.
Until he fell through the damn door. But
Right. You know what? What about what I really appreciated about this? And again, it goes back to the subtlety thing. The subtle hate. Yeah. The subtle hate. Like, it was almost like you've done everything wrong and people still deal with you. And I don't get any respect and I've done everything right.
Right.
And
absolutely. It was all through the movie. I think it was all through the movie. Absolutely.
It's the quintessential prodigal son. The son that's always been at the house by his daddy's side is mad that you still welcoming this boy back and giving him your good ring, your good robe, and you killing the fatted calf for him. And I've been here this whole time.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, man, I hate to jump so far ahead, but like Dog said, there's a point in the movie where he said, "Man, he turned to one of the sons and said, 'This my son right here.'" Like literally turned. I mean, it was to Doc's point, No, absolutely. No, that makes sense.
And that sibling rivalry. So Marcus was the oldest, I'm assuming, right?
You know what? I don't know who was. I think he was number 2. I think he was number 2.
Because the other guy,
the pastor was clearly the youngest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The guy
was the second youngest, then Omar, and then the other brother.
Do they have a construction company or something like that? Or
they had some because you saw the truck with the magnet on the side of it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, he got fired. That's why I was confused.
I didn't understand that. How you get fired from your own
company?
Now, maybe he was the contractor or something. Maybe he had a contract with them. Maybe that's what it was. But his name.
But he talked about. But he talked about it. He talked about it in a way that says, "I got fired from my job."
Right, exactly.
Maybe he was driving.
Then he shows up and he got the name on the side of the truck, which I didn't.
But it was their name, wasn't it?
Something.
Cowan.
It was Cowan.
But I was thinking he was the oldest, the Curtis Cook guy because he
That's
was the
what I
only one
thought
that had
too.
gray hair.
Yeah.
To me, I thought he was the
that's what I
oldest.
thought.
They never really kind of identified it.
Right.
Mhm.
But one of the funny moments, I think, when they were at Drew's house, he was like praying to Jesus and his cousins. I don't know what he was saying.
I think he was just
saying
trying to be
probably drunk.
funny.
He was on the couch.
No, I got it. You know, you got that. You get that relative that start praying and they don't shut up until the food cold.
Oh, right.
Come on, CJ. Really?
Everybody
What we
got-
doing tonight, man? Wow, CJ.
Hey, shout out to DJ Knox in the building. Appreciate you tuning in.
I'm trying to be nice
watch
tonight,
it, but I bet Wilkes give it in. Nah. This is a film that Wilkes like. All right.
I actually appreciated this,
All right, CJ, you got to watch it.
but I don't know how. Yeah, we'll see.
So this kind of Marcus getting the job. He was an addict. They didn't say what type of addict. I'm assuming alcohol. I guess
Alcoholic. Yeah, I would.
They didn't really say, but he got a new job. It kind of made that kind of feel like
No, I thought they did. I thought they did say alcohol.
Oh,
I thought they
just
did
seen
say
him later
alcohol.
on in the movie.
yeah. Just sorry,
No, because it
Ben,
came into question.
Oh, you're right. I kind of heard
It came into question because the two dudes said he was a junkie.
Yeah, that's what they kept. Yeah, they kept referencing that. I mean,
And they said
be an alcoholic junkie.
getting raped in jail because of the drugs.
That's what was that Al
Stacy or whatever his name was said.
Was that Stacy the Theo Rossi, or was Stacy the black guy?
Oh, Al was. I think Al was the black guy. I thought Stacy.
No, Al was still Rossi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Rossi made the comment about your brother was taking it in the butt in jail.
Yeah.
I was like,
for the drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of like a random comment kind of threw out there. I guess you
like, wow. That was a trigger. That was a trigger moment.
Exactly.
Yikes.
I appreciate you, Denise, Milk and Cook. He's in the building. How you doing? Hey.
Hey.
So Marcus starting a new job and all that kind of made me think of a Tyler Perry movie. You know, when somebody down, then they get a new job and they got new fans.
Yeah. It made me think
I was like, where are we going with this?
They think he acting brand new.
Yeah, good point. Soul Food. That was the soul food connection there. And then they fast forward to 3 months later, and you met the girl, which we'll kind of talked about that. And then 3 months later, she in her pajamas in the kitchen cooking breakfast. So,
man,
I
have to say, I watched this movie twice because there were some things that I missed, and I didn't see it was 3 months later. I was just like, "Man, she already doing yoga in the room? Like, was she cooking breakfast?" I was like, "What's going on?" I didn't even see that part, so that was kind of like something I missed. But
what's wrong with that? Shit.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that because she had it up in the air. She was ready. I mean, she tooted it up. I mean,
do that thing.
He's waiting for somebody. Look at that. He's waiting for an opportunity to say what?
I'm just saying. I mean, she got it tooted up. All you got to do is get on it. Like Genuine at that part. I mean,
the young Genuine, not the old.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
What was he doing there? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, these old cats, man, don't dance, man. Just stand there and sing your song.
Go get dreads and wear pink pants, see the smoky.
He forgot how to do his move, man. He forgot how to do his move.
But I think they moved too fast because I don't know if they were fully. They were saying they were fully honest with each other, but then with stuff at the fan, I don't think they were really fully honest.
No, Ben,
I don't think he was.
No, Ben, that cootie make you do that sometimes, man. That cootie, man.
I know.
Well,
she wasn't. I don't think she was. She was
all really gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
She already had that old woman chocolate skin.
I love it. So somebody mentioned predictability, and I think this is one of the parts of the predictability because as soon as he gave her the key and that news story came on, you knew a fuck up was coming. You knew this. Okay, now shit finna go south.
Right. We can't allow you to be happy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I get that point, but you know what I thought it was? I thought it would be a little different. I thought he would be implicated largely in the crime, and that's why she was stepped. I didn't think she would break stride.
I will say this. I was expecting a twist to the point where he was going to fall back into doing crime.
Right, or something. I didn't
something
think
like that, right?
that,
because maybe the bus job didn't work out,
Right. I thought it would be something because that I just can't see a lady from the hood boning out on you for that.
Yeah, but they laid the groundwork for that. She was because I'm telling you, and I'll tie it back in later on what impact it gave for me. But they laid the groundwork for her goody two shoesness in that standpoint, of where she wasn't gonna tolerate that kind of stuff. She even played the dude close when she first showed up at the dinner that night. I was told I was here for the dinner. So she I expected her to go that way.
I just have one question, and maybe people that have watched it, maybe you gentlemen can help me. Why didn't she have her own car? Why is she being picked up and dropped off?
No, she did have her own car.
Did she have her own car?
And she a nurse. But she was.
Remember, at the end of the dinner, he walked her to her car.
But she got in though. I thought it was an Uber pulling up.
It looked like she was getting picked up by
It was an Uber. Yeah,
it was like an Uber. Or something.
I didn't see her driving the whole time.
She ain't got no car.
Player rule 101: can't never give her the key.
And you don't never pick her up if she ain't got no car, because then our homies want to ride. What?
But then she got picked up from work, and he was like, "Oh, you stepping out now?" But that was her cousin.
I'll pick you up. Your homies got it. Hey, I'll drop you.
I don't care what the cousin is.
Now, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is this was filmed in LA. At least that's what it looked like. And Marcus was talking with a New York accent the whole movie. I didn't get that part. It's like they grew up in California, but he just had maybe he didn't want to change it.
You know who does that all the time? Mekhi Phifer, man. He the same New York dude in everything.
Every movie.
He Lim. He Ace from A Boogie from
I know what you're
Paid in Full. He the same dude everywhere, man. It was one movie. He was in a Christmas movie in LA. And he had a New York accent. I'm like, come on, dog.
Be right back. I got to step away.
All right, cool. But yeah, it was only him though. Everybody else seemed like they either adapted or they changed or they just had a different accent. But Omar Epps.
You know what I wondered at the very beginning of the movie? Maybe it was just me, but I thought I heard them say San Diego. And then as the movie progressed, it was LA.
Well, his dad was a Padres fan.
Yeah,
I don't know
okay.
I don't know if that meant they were in San Diego or he was just a fan of the Padres.
Right. That's why I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. He did say, I'm like, how you loving the fathers?
Yeah. And they showed that home invasion. They showed it on the news. Every single time they turned the TV on, that home invasion was on.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the news,
you kill somebody white, everybody up and on.
It was everywhere, which I knew eventually they was about to tie that to Drew was there. So that to me was an easy tie-in that they were going to do regardless. But the baseball cards. So he's over. Obviously, he's over at the house, and the baseball cards are just in a binder. On
the cocktail table,
right? And Marcus opens it up, and he was like, "I don't know if he said like you're not even into baseball. What you got these baseball cards for?"
Right.
Obviously, you knew he was about to lie. So that was kind of obvious that obviously he got the baseball cards from somewhere that he didn't purchase at a store, and it wasn't given to him. So I didn't believe that from the jump. I don't know what y'all feel on that.
Yeah, that was kind of a mediocre lie. You know, that was just stupidity at its finest. I just don't see being part of a murder. That might be the only horrible part of the story. Because if you were part of a murder that heinous, there's no way in the entire hell that you are going to lay out anything that connects you to a murder. And the other thing that annoyed me about these the only two annoyances I have with the whole movie. How in the hell you get arrested and the police for murder for a double homicide, and the police don't have a search warrant for your crib.
Yeah, now he was at his dad's.
Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't have a
That's the only address to him. And see, I can even say, just to give them a little justification for having a baseball cards up, they did go to some length to try to explain to us that not many people were ever over at his crib, even his girlfriend. Because he talked about his girlfriend, and he goes, well, nowadays we spend most nights at her house. She doesn't want to come over here. And that's when he said, we'll clean up every now and then, and maybe she will, so you could tell he was just living. So as far as he was concerned, having it out on the coffee table was nothing because nobody ever comes over there.
Good point.
I just can't imagine.
I just couldn't understand too where he kept talking about he was broke. And I'm like, you said that twice in the movie. So what were you doing with your money? Were you paying Al and Stacy? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the money was going, but because his brother was giving him money.
Giving him money
to pay the bills. Shit, what you talking about? Yeah, you got to pay mortgage, man. What you they weren't enough to have no savings account there. They're just trying to keep you on your feet.
They knew he wasn't getting no job if he's just paying bills. Ain't no hoes coming over.
So you robbing the Beaver already?
Shit, that was side piece. That wasn't the real hoe. That was when he wanted to look proper in front of the parents. That ain't, come on, man. That's smoke and mirrors, man. They ain't the main one.
Homeboy had a slick ass ride to be a bum.
We talking about almost 45 minutes.
That Honda Accord ain't too bad, man.
That's what I'm saying. That man had the Honda Accord Sport.
See, he had only lost his job. He had only lost his job like 3 months or so, so I'm sure he had to create the car before then. All this stuff was recent.
Court, man. Ain't no slouch, man.
No, I'm not saying it was, but shit, y'all act like the seconds you lose your job, they gonna come get your shit right away. That ain't how it works. No, it isn't.
They said 6 months. Didn't they say 6 months?
But no, it eventually got to 6 months. Initially, it only been a short period of time.
If it's Mega Motors in Pleasant Grove, they come to get your shit right now.
Yeah.
Hey, but he looked like he didn't care about getting a job because he was at the barbershop. It seemed like
he gonna stay fresh. You gotta stay fresh.
He wasn't no hair. He was just sitting in the chair rapping with the people. All right, we're talking about
everybody at the airport ain't going out of town either.
We're talking about the devil,
It's people on the dark bus ain't going nowhere either.
Yeah, they're just riding for the day. They were
that AC shit.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. They were amateur. Let's see. The way that thieving brother cried and command proves that the man can be crying, sniffling, snotting, shaking, still be lying. He was crying a lot. I was like, is this real emotion or he just
he was slinging a lot of snot
like that? He could flip it on. He could flip it on like that. Like,
sociopathically.
Good point. We need that BS3 after dark. We working on that. I told you we got to show this.
You don't want it.
No, they don't want it.
They don't want it. You don't want it.
Professional.
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow. Come on, Rev. Not tonight, Rev.
Marcus ends up snitching after his brother came to him. Which to me, if my brother came to me and was, you seen he was nervous. Right. So either he had something to do with it or he was tied into it. But I think Marcus was trying to turn the leaf like I'm trying to be better. I think also I'm trying to be better than you. I think was also a part of it. But I don't think he wanted to. He was trying to protect his brother, but obviously that didn't end up working out too well.
That I'm trying to be better than you. You missed me with that shit, man. I ain't picked that up at all. That he was trying to be better than his brother by turning him in. I didn't get that.
He said better to you.
No, he said better than. He said he was trying to be better than his brother.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
I don't think none of that. Nah. But see, I think he was trying to be better. But I honestly think he thought if he snitched on Stacy, I don't think he knew his brother had that. He believed what his brother said. So I think by him snitching on Stacey and Al, he was trying to get the heat off his brother. I really believe that.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I don't really see him trying to be better than him. I didn't catch that really.
He was laid back this whole movie. He wasn't judgmental about nobody else shit. He was just kind of laid back as far as I was concerned. I think he was tripping
really trying
like
to deflect what was, he knew what was coming, but it's kind of like, man, if I can try to just keep you out of this trouble that's coming your way, because like you said, the name of the title is The Devil You Know. If he knows that trouble, if I can persuade that, if I can get you, I don't know, but I didn't really see that they were kind of competing, but.
Yeah, I definitely.
I thought
I think it was. I think it was that brotherly or that sibling rivalry.
But it wasn't coming from Marcus. You're right. Yeah. It wasn't coming from Marcus though. It was coming from me. To me, it was coming from the brother who had the baseball cards. He was the one that felt some kind of way about things. And I think probably because of, just like he said, the family had poured so much time, resources, and energy into Marcus's shit over the years that it took a toll. And A-Trap called it perfectly. He said that's silent hate. So it's that thing that sometimes we have in families that it doesn't override the love, but it still exists, and it's like, okay, you're really irritating the fuck out of me deep down, but I love you still, but I'm tired of your shit, but I'm just not going to say it, that kind of thing. Yeah. And so,
kind of to Doc's point, it's like he mentioned, Pops helped me get this bus job, but what is the other son, Drew? Like, what are you helping him with? Like he said, I know you're giving him money though. But still, it's kind of like one of those things where he just looked at Marcus. It's kind of like, man, you just can't help yourself. Like you just have to be the attention. You just have to be the attention grabber, I guess.
But so
Keisha, A-Trap is doing a lot of sign language right here. Let me just take a pause break for station identification. Keisha, A-Trap is doing a lot of sign language and shit, touching on chins and doing all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because I have to say, where I'm from, when you point like this, that's a seat. That's mustache, free mustache ride. When you're pointing like that.
Beard riding.
He said he was that NBA trail all right.
Ben, you'll know this answer. What's that NBA player that would touch the side of his face before he shot free throws because his wife made him do it? He played for Sacramento.
Oh, Doug
Y'all
Christie.
know what I'm talking about. That's it.
Hey, that dude's wife is crazy.
That dude, I'm not cheating.
She on a whole nother level.
Damn, touch your beard.
On a different level, yeah.
Made him touch side his face. He didn't have no face. But see, every time he shot a free throw, he rubbed beside his face before he
got a point. CJ's got a point.
This is for film purposes.
CJ's got a point. CJ's got a point.
He does. What's this comment right here? He has me looking at him sideways too. I'm just
He's just saying snail trail starts here, man. Snail trail starts here.
All right. When Drew got brought in, I missed the part of exactly what he was saying because it seemed like he was talking real low. Was he basically talking about his brother the whole time, or?
Yeah, when it got quiet, they cut the sound. Right? Didn't y'all pick that up?
Yeah,
they the end of his interview. He was free to go, and he kept talking.
Was still talking. Yeah,
and he was animated about it and stuff like that. And apparently, that entire time, he's talking about Marcus.
Yep.
Which they later talked about with
because he said he brought him up. Yeah.
I mean, he clearly brought him up. He was like, "This seems to be out my brother's bag." He literally threw Marcus under the bus
every time.
Right. You're right.
I don't think this is. I'm tired of Marcus shit. He probably been jealous of Marcus since birth.
Right. This is just like, how do I get Marcus out of the picture?
Right, because you got these two goofballs that you running with, who y'all done got into a world of trouble, and you talking about, my brother might be the number one suspect.
Yeah.
It's knowing your brother's past, knowing your brother 15 minutes out the penitentiary.
Right. And they don't need, man. Yeah, they only need a small excuse to get him back in. They could
right.
A whole bunch of people wouldn't argue if they brought him in and tried to convict him of it.
Right. That's what I thought for sure. Like I said, I thought from the title and, just kind of unfortunately misjudging it, I thought Omar Epps was going to slip back into that world with his brother. It's like,
That's what I thought too.
I started out with these two clowns, but then, okay, well, my brother going to come on board and he going to help us knock over things. That's the way I thought it was going to go, but it didn't. But,
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought he was on heavier drugs. The alcohol thing kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah, the way they made it seem like he almost overdosed or something. The way
Right.
When they never showed him using drugs at one time.
They just showed him drinking at the bar that one time. That was it.
Yeah, and drinking a lot. Like 12 beers. And I'm trying to think out, man, you're fresh out the joint. How you get an apartment and a ride, man? What was you doing before you went to jail?
Exactly.
He had a house.
Money
I
in the
don't think
wall.
that was an apartment. He looked like he had a house.
Yeah, he had a house.
Yeah. Upstairs and a downstairs. It looked like
this man. But man, I'm about to go to California and go to jail.
Right.
So a couple of funny moments. So they're picking up Drew, and as soon as they put him in handcuffs, he's like, "Daddy!"
Exactly.
I was like, he went
Kill my daddy. It's on. I was like,
right.
Go
Man,
to jail.
get your head in the car, man, and sit down, man.
Right. And then with Glenn Thurman, I don't know what his real name was in the movie, but when he fainted, it made me seem like one of those infomercials. Like I fallen and I can't get up. He was like,
yeah.
What was really cool about the Glenn Turman thing, him and Belle Calloway, Regina Belle Calloway, it shows like I was looking at the progression of Omar Epps, from Yans,
Malcolm X and Peabody,
right? And then you got Preach to now, and Bark Like a Dog to now.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to see them as the old school people now. Yeah. The acting progression, it was kind of dope.
Yeah, that is. And you look good. Both of them look good. I mean, I know they gotta be.
They both did look good. I thought she was gonna let them out, but she didn't. But that was going like, whoop. But she didn't.
They're about 60, 70. So
Vanessa Bell Calloway never did it for me, man.
That's all right. I just need to show me
Vanessa Bell Calloway.
What I say last week? The paper bag is the best filter. I just need you to take the titty out. That's all I need.
Not even in Coming to America.
In Biker Boys, she was still killing them too.
Just take the titties out, baby. Shut your mouth. That's all I need. Just shut your mouth. Take the titties out. Hey, I'm just saying.
Right, so we
don't talk. Just take them out. Hang them out.
We come to find out that Drew did go with Al and Stacy. So that was a big wow. I think we knew that. I think I knew that from the jump. I mean, not from the jump, but as things started to progress, I think we all kind of figured that. So Marcus ended up when he was stumbling out of the bar drinking, and Al comes up to him. Al and Stacy comes up to him. And I really thought they was just about to kill him then, because he was really the only reason why this got blown up.
They ran up on him like they were going to do something.
Yeah, they ran up on him and they didn't do anything really. He pulled the gun out, then they got taken.
Right. I mean, I will say I thought he was going to get. I thought he was going to get shot in that moment, but not killed him. It's kind of like a warning, like, hey man, you running your mouth, but it didn't go that way.
If you're gonna pull that gun out, you better use it.
Right.
What
he say in the Wire? You come for the king, don't miss, baby.
Yeah.
What disappointed me about that is this chump tricked on his brother, man, to these goofballs.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, you tricked on your brother?
Right.
I'm telling you, man, it was deeper with Drew than we talking about. Drew was a creep.
He was. That dude had a.
Yeah, I think they showed. Yeah, they showed that because at the time, like when this all first jumped off, Drew was just hanging with them, right? Like he was just hanging on Al and the other cat coattails. But it turns out, Stacey, it turns out that he was probably the leader of that little crew,
right? Right. Oh, yeah, he had to be because they were two stooges.
Yeah, he was like, we go into this house.
Right.
Because I know them or somehow, and they could be gone.
Right.
He the one that set the whole thing up.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I think ultimately, well, they never, maybe it's left on the editing floor. I always suspected that was Drew's former manager or the owner. He ran the light company or whatever. Because why would he pick that random white guy in that house?
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you 100% on that. Yes, 100%.
So I want to, because I never. Now, did he go back to the restaurant? Because they were questioning him, saying like, how many people come into the restaurant? Like, did he know? Obviously, I guess he assumes he had money. I mean, I didn't pick up on that.
He knew something about that cat. Yeah.
Okay.
They said first, Michael Ealy film, he ain't kill a kid or obsessing over a widowed wife. So it's
I said that myself. That was one of my notes. I said Michael Ealy is a good guy. A cop?
Yeah.
Huh?
When did he kill a kid? I don't know that movie.
I don't know that part, but I know he usually the bad guy is all I know.
Yeah. You're right about this. You're right about this, K-Dub. When he was trying, she was trying to hold his hand. He was like, "Your hand."
Right.
You done lied to me.
Like, woman, don't touch me.
Lied to me, the woman.
I like when that older brother say, "You brought my mom into this." That's when you know you finna get tapped up
at the table. Yeah, he was like,
it ain't nothing stopping me from
yes.
you.
Right.
I knew that. I knew everything was about to hit the fan. As soon as
I think one of the reasons why I gave this movie a bit of a thumbs up is because I thought it was an interesting study on black brothers, and see, I look at it as brothers, right?
Right.
And all I got is sisters. I got a half brother, but we're not that close. But I always look at that in a way, and so I thought it was quite interesting. Even toward the end, when they were kind of cool with Marcus, I thought they was gonna have a big problem with Marcus snitching on him. Snitching on the calling the cops, calling the tip in.
Right.
I thought they was gonna have a problem, but the other two brothers and the daddy had no issue with that whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. And kind of like kind of to the mom's point, at that point at the dinner table, she said, "Boy, didn't we teach you anything?" So I think that kind of resonated with all of us have the same morals, but it just depends on how you choose to go about those morals. Like you have them to a certain point, but I still want this over here kind of attitude is what I kind of got from.
Still put them in action. You can have
you still know good from, you still know wrong and right, but that part of that wrong is like, man, but okay, I hear what you're saying, but I need to go get this.
I mean, think about it. We all done did some shit. I think I heard A-Trap talking about it. Matter of fact, A-Trap and BJ on the show the other day was talking about it. Like, BJ, one of the first thing he told you is, this ain't on you. And I think he said he was telling his cousins or his brother, somebody else was like, this on me. Shit, I did this. My daddy told me not to do this kind of shit. He told me what was going to go down.
Oh, absolutely.
So same thing. Shit, my mama told me what not to do and what to do and shit. That didn't have nothing to do with why I was doing it.
Hey, my mama told me not to have nobody in the house, but the damn key around my neck. Oh, come on over. We got out early today. It's 12:30.
Right, exactly. But you gotta be gone. You gotta be gone.
Got 3.
But it don't matter. You always left evidence because you motherfuckers don't understand crime scenes and DNA and shit. Y'all always leave some evidence.
Because
no parents are smarter than you.
Hey, I was like, no, because once you pull your pants down, ain't no panties. You can't leave no panties behind. You just pull your pants up and leave. Come on, man. Let's not act like. Come on, man. Can we be real, please?
Stop.
Can we stop, please?
Wow.
Come on, man. Ain't no evidence to leave, man. You got your clothes on. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real, man. Come on, man. Let's stop.
So we say,
early release. We know what early release meant. It's time to come by the house after early release. Let's stop, man. Let's stop. Please.
My mama worked from the house, so I never did take that. I went to their spot. Shit, I wasn't worried about no evidence.
Your mama was working from home?
Shit. Early release.
She had in-home daycare for, over 40 years, man. So.
I'm just saying, early release. It's time to get to work.
Blue Streak Freak flight again. Hey, we know.
Yes.
He say Michael Ealy dropped them kids on the movie for Colored Girls.
Huh?
He dropped them. I don't know if I've seen that one.
I didn't see it.
All right, so
I
they're
saw it.
talking to Drew. They're kind of having this brotherly conversation, and they're talking to Drew, and they're like, "Hey, I don't know if they said don't go and talk to Al and Stacy, or they said if you do go, bring one of us with him." I don't remember that part exactly, but Drew ends up going over there, and this is the part that completely was like, "Wow!" He went in there to talk for a minute, and he just shot both of them.
He
like
was tired of it. He was over. Yeah, he was over the dumb shit at that point.
Yeah, nobody messes with my family, but me.
Yeah,
right.
They ain't gonna lie. All right,
like,
I shouldn't go talk to him by myself.
He all fixed his coat like,
they
did.
Right.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah, I was like at that point, and I think he got to the point that people get to sometimes mentally when they're done.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it was more what Will said. You mess with my brother, and I'm not having that. Like, I can hate on him and I can snitch on him.
Right,
when
but
y'all
you
cross the line.
Right.
That's the problem. He said something to them about him, so that doesn't make any sense. If he was concerned about that and protecting his brother, he had told him.
But
then again, just like I hate to jump so far ahead, but just like at the end of the movie when the cop showed up, he said, "That's my family. That's my brother."
That's what I think. I think it was just like, I told y'all this, so I won't look guilty, and I got this under control. But when y'all pull it's the rules of the street. You pull it out. You should have shot him. Right. You should have shot him.
That's why I said it felt like four brothers to me when I watched it, because even they had their differences and they were adopted, but they came together at the end. It was just like, man, we got to figure out who killed my mom. Like what happened here? I don't know. That's just
you're right though. That did have that.
So to me, one of the notes I wrote, I put they feel like brothers and a dad to me. Did they pull that off? Like they really felt like brothers and a dad to y'all?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you have. Yeah, it's like if the dad passed, you just have kind of, if he steps into that role, brother.
Like they made you believe that they were brother and dad. Like did their interaction seem believable?
Yeah,
I think it did.
Absolutely.
But I think
that's what I said. Oh, go ahead. When he went there that night, I think that was the smartest thing he did in the whole movie. Because you go there that night, your brother's sitting at your mom and them house.
Right.
Because look, Omar gave him out. Omar cleared it for him. He said, "No, let him go on over there."
Right.
And if they whoop him, then we got to out.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then we still cool. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
And he went over there I think he walked in the door to kill them, period.
He had it. I think he had it set up. They were just messing up too many times.
I think he was waiting on them to say something. I think if they would have been cool, I don't know if he would have, because they started mouthing off. I think at that point, he was waiting on a reason.
They were getting sloppy
because he had already. We found out later that he had already got his mama to cover the CYA.
Right.
His mama to burn up the cards and got rid of the evidence.
Right.
Y'all run up on my brother again, everybody dying.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, and I didn't think he didn't expect her to burn the card. That was news to his ass. He was expecting her.
I think he did. Because remember, he told them, y'all need to get rid of this mess.
Well, see, we never saw what she talked to him about when she said, "Hey, Drew, I need to talk to you for a minute." That may have been the burn the card situation, but
I think it was. Because he told them, y'all need. He said, "Man, we need to get rid of all this stuff." And they was like, "You know how much money that is?" He was like, "Y'all need to make up y'all mind to do something." Yeah. And then he went and talked to his mama. Right. He put all this stuff in a garbage bag and say, "Mama, smoke all this, because I'm finna go smoke them."
Yeah. Because
why would you bring your mom involved? Why wouldn't you just do it yourself? Why would you need your mama if you were just gonna burn it?
Goofball.
I think it's that relationship. I think it's that relationship you have with your parents.
Who knew what was going on. His brothers knew what was going on, and his dad knew what was going on. the mom, I don't think she was fully, because when Marcus.
But here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing though about that part, because I'm sure we all have this. Maybe I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but and once again I'm jumping ahead, but you have that your son and mother relationship.
Yes.
You have that father and daughter relationship. If your mother is more to the point of, okay, let me try to fix it with you. Why didn't you come to me sooner? Okay, let's try to fix. It's that mom and daughter. And you know, kids do it early. They play off of who is going to be a little bit more lenient, who's a little bit more stern. But I have this relationship with you that I don't have with my mother or my father. I think it's one of those, that nurturing relationship that women have with their kids. That men can nurture, but there's a different type of nurturing behind that. It's that mom and dad thing.
That explains why he doesn't like Marcus too, because Marcus has that connection with his daddy that he wants,
right?
And he only has that connection with his mom.
Everybody
got the connection with both.
Which your mom only understands to a certain point.
Yes.
So the only way your theory works is if she says, okay, I'm going to burn this stuff because I'm thinking you really didn't do what I think you weren't that involved in it, but these cards got you tied up in something that you didn't do, because that's the only way that works, because she got mad at him.
That's what she said.
And said, how could you? You know,
right. But to Doc's point, you have that relationship with your mother, but you don't want to break her heart, so you're giving her half the story.
You have to be. She don't know everything.
She said it. She said, you were tied up, and remember, she got hysterical when she realized that he was part of the murder. She said, you told me they gave you these cards and was gonna snitch on you and put you in this.
Yes, she gave him half of the story because he didn't want to break that relationship he had with his mother.
The only relationship in his mind with the parents.
Pretty much, yeah, right.
And two, if we rewind back, when Marcus came to his mom and was like, I got to tell you something about the cards. And this was right after his dad had the heart attack. Right. And she didn't want to hear it. So I wanted to know more at that point. Because she was like, I don't want to hear it. I mean,
because obviously the dad was left in the dark.
She had intuition at that point for sure. Yeah.
She didn't want to hear anything about the cards at all. She was like, no, I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got about 20 minutes left, man. Go on and put me up on this so I
Here we go. Beauty of the week. And we're back.
Most of us.
Oh.
Doc, you're saying you got a bad internet connection.
Yeah, but that does well, since he's gone until he gets back.
Yeah.
Now this movie even makes more sense, because I've been trying to figure out since I watched it. What's the beef with him and Marcus? But the older brother got both sets of parents loving him.
Right.
The youngest brother, most definitely, you a pastor. Both your parents loving you.
Right, exactly.
You a pastor. You can
obviously, that third son, he got his own business with the family name. He's a contractor. It's on the side of the truck. So, yeah, no, absolutely. So here I am trying to make my way because, I have that relationship. But am I making you happy like the other brothers? Like, are you looking at me like them?
Right.
Yeah.
And Marcus does everything wrong, and he still gets our father's attention.
Right.
He was finding him
even when he's in the hospital bed, he was, like I said, he looked at the other son and he said, "That's my boy right there. That's my son." So he's got that special place, you know, in his dad's heart.
Right. Yeah. And I think too, you know, they obviously they were Drew was more so going after Marcus really the whole movie. He was throwing him out,
Oh,
he was
yeah, absolutely.
throwing him under the bus.
Mhm.
But I think when it clicked
Took
for
a shot
me,
at his old lady.
right.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
and
I mean,
Drew,
didn't you go use the key in my old lady in the other room, bro? Come on, man.
I'd have put them things on.
Man, he would have been out of there, son. He ain't gonna do that in my woman in the other room. Let me tell
Right, because you don't know what's going on in this house.
Right. You don't get to use the key like that, brother.
Right. You use the key if I'm in jail or I'm finna
Right.
fall
Or
out.
I ask you to go by the house. You don't get to just pop up
I'd
my
have
old lady in
choked
the
him
other
out.
room.
I'd have choked him out.
Man.
And see, that's the thing I was upset about the girlfriend too. Because you in the wings ear hustling. So
Right.
you heard
Right.
me say, why did you do that? I knew you should have. You heard me telling this boy
Right.
he
And
shouldn't have been
you
a
hear
part
me
of that.
exactly. You hear me talking from a moral aspect.
Right.
I'm not involved in this, but you didn't understand that also this is my brother. This is how my family work. You quick to turn coattails and run?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, you won't. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
And see, Wilkes, that's why I think she did have a car. Because you got people, if you didn't have a car,
you got real
Right.
serious.
random car pulling up makes
Yeah,
you it's nothing.
that's what I'm saying.
Know what I'm
Like,
saying?
yeah.
If she didn't already have a car, you
Right.
don't ask that question. You got people picking you up already because you're
Exactly.
assuming it's an Uber.
Right. Yeah. That's
And
right.
maybe she lived far away. I mean, who knows?
She was probably drinking
Maybe
on
she
the
was just
job.
hanging out with her cousin.
Probably a drunk nurse. Dog, go ahead with your beauty of the
Nurse
week. Sorry,
Becky.
sir.
No, that's my
Please.
bad. I lost signal for a second for some reason.
No,
But
you
for
got
our
the
beauty of the
floor.
week, one of the things I was gonna say is that we need to get a clear picture of the beauty of the week models that are on that graphic for the beauty of the week, so we can rank them because there's some interesting characters there. So we need to do a little ranking of our beauty of the week graphics, by the way. But this week's beauty of the week, it is not Vanessa Bell Calloway, because like I said, she ain't never did it for me. It ain't Montel Williams' daughter is in there, which I don't know if we discussed that yet. Yep, his daughter is in it. Yeah, she was not at the end. She was in it for the whole movie. Her name is Ashley Williams. She played one of the wives. Lauren was her name in the movie. She played the I think it may have been a younger guy's wife or girlfriend or something like that. But anyway, her name is Ashley Williams. She played in it. So she is a nice little runner-up, but not her. This week, I had to give it to Dark and Lovely right here because she's out of Dallas, Texas, believe it or not. Went to Booker T. Washington School of the Performing Arts, Erica Tazel. She also went to Spelman. So an HBCU. So yeah. Yes,
she got that deaconess skin.
Yeah, she got her Bachelor's of Arts from Spelman and Master of Fine Arts from the Tisch School of Arts in New York. So to come from Dallas to go here and looking like this, yeah, she
look at that. See, she got that communion skin on first Sunday.
That's my dark and lovely beauty of the week.
Amen.
Erica Tazel.
Amen.
Right, so holla at me, Erica. Unfortunately, she's married to a white boy.
I'm about to say she had that repellent on her hand.
What on her hand?
Yeah, that repellent on her hand. Like,
that don't mean nothing. Shit.
Let's see.
Even that got an expiration date.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I told you she got that deaconess skin. Look at her. Got that Holy Communion skin.
She was good.
Man.
All right, so Drew, he was definitely the leader because when he came around them at that time when they were outside the barbershop, it was like they were asking him. They were looking to him really for direction.
Right.
And so at first they didn't present him as the leader, but it came. He was the leader of the clique, really. He was he was sitting in the barbershop ordering them around. It's not even his barbershop.
Right.
Which maybe he could have helped supply the barbershop for the pack.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. Is Michael Ealy a good actor?
No.
I think he is.
He's all right.
Okay, we already different. And then Ben say all right. And I'm probably more where Ben is. He's all right. He hadn't had to show a lot of range, has he?
Right. Not really. I mean, that's why I say I think he's okay for what he is. I mean, we're not asking him Oscar status.
Why do you say no, A-Trap?
He played the same role in every movie. He doesn't have any range, and he living off good looks. The ladies like him, so they like him in movies. I mean,
I don't know. He had a bunch of rat turds on his face in this one.
Yeah, the man had
that mustache. Yeah.
You
and him, but the mustache.
But the sisters think he's nice looking, so that's what's getting them over. Now,
right.
Omar getting down.
You're right. There you go. There you go.
That's what I said. He got them rat turds on his face.
He's eye candy for the ladies.
And he got him a white girl too, so the sister's gonna be upset when they find that out.
They probably already know.
Ain't nobody checking for him. He good.
But I think for him, his character isn't believable. I didn't think he was a detective at all. I just thought he
wasn't detective.
Yeah. And he was too honest. What detective gonna be that honest about his past?
Last time I saw him, he was a serial killer in The Following with Kevin Bacon, which he did pretty good then, but that was a while back.
I think he's all right. He doesn't have that believability. That's trying to work.
It was one movie he played a decent role with T.I. and Chris Brown. I can't think of the name.
Oh, yeah, I know that movie. Immediately
Taken or Takers.
I think it was Takers. It was Takers. That movie was kind of short lived. It didn't go too far.
That was a decent movie too.
Yeah, Takers says just
yeah.
So Takers. Drew did not care at all. This dude was still showing up to the dinners, like everything was all good. Like he didn't just murder 7 people. No, not 7. The parents.
He was sloppy with it.
He murdered 4 people. He living his life like everything all good. Like Marcus, don't say nothing. Then when he came to the scene where he stabbed Marcus, that part I wasn't expecting that at all. I just thought
I wouldn't expect that either.
No,
yeah, I wouldn't.
He walked out the door, so I thought he was gonna leave.
Yeah, they increased their standing with me with that one.
I have to say,
I
honestly,
was not expecting him to stab him.
I have to say, the way this movie, in my head, the way I was watching this movie, I honestly thought because the brother was out of control in Omar Epps' character's eyes, I thought Omar Epps was going to kill Drew.
Yeah, I started to think that as well.
I felt like they were building the tension to, man, you out of control, so I'm gonna have to put you down myself, kind of thing. But
yeah,
that would have been a crazy twist. But
yeah,
I just felt like Omar Epps was gonna put his brother down.
Well, he just straight picked up the knife, like
man,
nice,
say, man, you know.
Yeah,
what kind of impressed me was, and that's probably how your brother would chop you up. Remember, the younger brother was popping Drew on the other side of the room. He said, "Man, don't get up."
Yeah. He's like, "Don't get up, man. Just stay down.
Don't make me put these things on you, man.
Man, you keep getting up, man. I'll put these things on you, baby.
Yeah,
man, don't get up.
Yeah, Drew better stick to shooting because he was getting.
Yeah, he was getting, as they say, he was getting hulled out.
Yeah,
and then when everybody was talking to him, he had that Denzel like I don't care look. You know when Denzel get that thing with his lips, like
he's kind of quivering a little bit. Yeah,
he was like I don't care. They were like, "Wow, you did this." He was like, "Wow, you did this," and he was like,
"Oh, you gonna believe him over me?"
Yeah, really.
And then he tried to tell the family that it was Drew.
And the gun was the evidence too. It was the same gun situations.
Like, you just sloppy, man. You sloppy.
And how did he get? Why was that big of a knife at the table? That ain't the kind of knives you normally have at no dinner table. You know,
and
we
the
have
other
little
thing
steak
too is,
knives and stuff. This nigga had the big butcher knife at the table.
Yeah.
and did we explain like the gun? How did the gun get passed around? Because you laid the gun on the ground when Omar got in the car. It's the same gun that he used.
No.
Was it a
that
different
was
gun?
Stacy's gun.
Okay.
Remember,
all right.
Stacy upped the gun on all my apps.
Right.
And then
But
he
did he use the
took
same gun at the barbershop?
No, you confusing Stacy gun with Drew's gun.
Okay.
Now,
Because remember, Stacy upped the pistol on him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he got it from him.
And Stacy and homeboy, they should have died because two of them couldn't whip one of my ups.
Right.
And that's when we should have realized.
Right.
That's when we should have realized that Drew was the chief because they kept, hey, cool out, Drew shooting people. Drew just stabbed you with a steak. He's gonna stab somebody with a steak. That's when we should have realized that Drew was the chief.
Yeah. You're right.
And then I'm trying to figure out, Omar, you a felon. You laying guns with your fingerprints on the ground, bro.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dog's point. They did have a damn Rambo survival knife on that damn. I was like, what y'all cutting, man? What y'all using on that?
When they cutting a turkey or a chicken, I guess.
Hey man, they must have been cutting the ostrich.
The handle on that damn thing was beefy. I'm like, what the hell y'all doing?
It's only one occasion you should have a big knife like that on the table, and that's Thanksgiving. You trying to carve a turkey?
They had a pot roast.
No, that shit should be tender enough. You should just be able to fork it. And how many people put the big ass piece of meat on the table anyway? That ain't what black people do. Shit, we fix our plates in the kitchen and then go sit down there.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
Hey, man, they got to make it. They got to make it.
Or we washing it
black
out.
life, man.
Only put half on the plate.
That ain't what it is. That's not real black life. We don't do that.
It's in
in
the
real
kitchen.
black life, that girl wouldn't have left him.
Oh, she was out of there.
True that.
Hey, let me talk to you outside. What?
Yeah, and then he was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and leave." So
Right.
Like, I think that I thought he was.
She was a new girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
No, that's the one his mama didn't like.
He was in the beginning, wasn't he?
Oh, okay.
I thought she was in the beginning.
And that's the one his
Nah, I
mama
think that
didn't
was
like.
new.
Oh,
So that was the one his mama didn't
You
like?
saw how Vanessa was looking at her like,
You back?
yeah, she
Like, you
was
need
looking
to
at her
be
like, shut up.
yeah, like shut up.
You don't talk.
Sister-in-law came in and threw mad shade at her. Like, you watch reality TV, you ain't gonna have no job. With your dog gang.
Yeah, they
like
walked
that,
off.
yeah.
That's right. When they were in the kitchen.
All right, let's get to some final thoughts. The devil you know. Final thoughts, and let's go ahead and do the rating as we're going around. Doc, I'm gonna kick it to you first.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed the movie from an entertainment standpoint. There are some issues with the music. Like I'm interested. I should have checked the budget on this one because I'm interested in what the budget was. I'm glad we're doing our own thing, getting involved and stuff like that. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a horrible movie. So I'm right in the middle. I'm going to give it a 3 mics. Again, I thought it was an interesting case study on brothers and the black family as a whole. But things like that, like don't try to make us all be sitting at the dinner table with all the food there and we serve each other. We don't do that like that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I'm not saying I know what all black families do, but I done been around a few of them, and we don't do that shit. So don't try to be what we're not. Keep it authentic.
The shit is on
3
the stove
mics.
in the kitchen, man.
Right, exactly. Everybody get in line.
And now I'm gonna tell you where Eb got me. I thought he did a fantastic job in that final scene, the hospital scene where he started crying and stuff like that at the end, where he was telling them to stop and stuff like that. Normally, they overact right there, you know, and he wanted everybody to stop and just be quiet and stuff like that, and he didn't overact right there. He kept it to where it's like more realistic because the motherfucker just got stabbed. You shouldn't be yelling and screaming too loud. No way. So I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and they stopped and listened to that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a solid 3. It's a solid 3.
Okay. All right. K-Dub says 4.5. All right. HR.
Sure.
I was trying to look up the budget. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. It was a good. It was the good in and out story. It was a, they took you with Omar's story, and they tied in the brothers. The goody two goody two shoes on the. I think on the bookends. They showed you the relationship with the mother, the father. They made it. They normalized Black life. So that's why I really enjoyed it.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it said, no matter how bad and funky this get, that's my brother.
Yeah.
And that's why I truly enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 4 piece. But yeah, I give it 4 because it was, initially I was thinking what y'all was thinking. This man predictable, but what wasn't predictable was the way his old lady left him. I didn't think she was gonna bounce on him. I thought it was progressively gonna get worse, and then she was gonna bone out. Then the fact they showed, basically, man, I think they showed Black life. They were a little upper middle class, but I think they showed the Black family the way it has never been shown in a movie. It was just us with our flaws, but guess what? We ain't snitching on him.
Right.
Yeah, he's the devil, but we rolling with him.
He's our devil. Yeah.
Right, he our devil.
Exactly.
Normally, it would have went like Glenn Turman said, you gonna pay for this. I ain't paying for it. I ain't telling on him.
Right.
You tell on him then, daddy, but I ain't telling.
Right.
So that's what I really appreciated. I appreciated that portion. I couldn't find it.
1.63 million. 1.63 million is the budget.
Oh, that's pretty good for that. Because you had some significant names behind that.
Oh yeah.
800 and some thousand came off of grants.
Oh. Your boo said awesome final thought.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. I can't follow the reverend, but I'll do what I can.
Let me just say this. Before you go there, let me just say this. This is either costing A-Trap a whole bunch of coochie or it's getting him something. I don't know which, but
After show.
A-Trap don't be needing no coochie, man.
But I have a feeling it's costing him more than it's gonna get him.
I hope at least she's sending in the menu. At least. I hope she at least sending in the menu. At least.
I love it.
Because if she's not sending a sampler on the menu while he pointing at the chin, I mean, hopefully she's sending something.
Man, I do this on my show. I don't know what y'all talking about. It's just something I do.
I'm just saying, if she ain't showing you the meat curtains, I don't know what to tell you, brother. But anyway, so what's wrong?
Wow.
I heard that term like that. Go ahead.
What happened? Said the meat curtains.
What?
And here he goes. He's on his routine.
I don't know what happened.
What did I say?
What did I miss? What happened?
I think that's the coolest feature on the whole app.
So anyway, I have to give it a 3.5 mics. I think for what it was and in the movies that it made me remember, family just kind of, look, I know you messing up, but even with Boys in the Hood, it was just like, man, you trying to get to college, on scholarships, even though you still kind of messing around with, knuckleheads, you still family. And I think it was just one of the, even with Soul Food, it was just one of those moments where it made me think of those different movies. But yeah, I give it a 3.5 mics. I mean, I actually enjoyed it. Even the second time when I watched it, I saw things that I had missed at first. But no, I thought for what it was okay for what it was.
That's the Wilkes comment of the night. Meat curtains. They got everybody talking.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, meat curtains.
All right. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I don't think it's 4 worthy quite yet because there were some things in the movie where it was predictable. I think the star power was in it, which I loved.
Definitely had star power.
The Black family was in it. It showed how we defend our family even till to the end. To everyone.
Right,
We still
exactly.
love them.
And even and as much as the authority was trying to pressure him, he's like, "Hey, man, this is law right here. This is family. This is my parent." And obviously, you can tell the parents probably instilled that. But there was also a part of that where it was like, we taught you right from wrong, even though we know you still gonna mess up. It's still my brother. It's still family. I can't go against my family.
Right.
It's kind of like what I told BJ last week. It's one of the terrible things, one of the few things that I don't, if the only thing I don't like about being black, well, it ain't that I don't like about being black. It's one of the toughest things about being black. We're not allowed to make mistakes.
Right.
We got to get it right the first time. Well, that's your ass.
Yeah. It's so funny, it's not really funny, but it's a coincidence that that H-Rap would say that, because I heard somebody say, man, it's amazing how when white people get upset or fed up, it's like, oh, man, all hell finna break loose. But when a black person gets fed up, man, why are you so upset? Why are you so angry? What is going on? No, I'm passionate about mine. Like, why can't I be passionate? Why can't I express the way I feel? Like, I don't understand why it's different. Like, you get upset and you ready to turn the whole state upside down. If I get upset and passionate, wow, gosh, you don't have to be so violent. You don't have to tear up your own neighborhood. You trying to tear up the damn.
They tear up their own neighborhoods and set couches on fire after national championships and won.
Man, come on, man. Oh, they just little crowd just got out of control tonight.
Yeah. Milwaukee after the Bucks won.
Just to dust up. Just to dust up. Nothing to see.
Right. Like stop. Yeah. Stop. Yeah, exactly. Like Dog said, a little dust up. Nah. Move right along.
Shout out to Jack Del Rio.
Right.
Vanessa brother.
He's coaching one of the worst teams in the league. So
that good luck. He wonder why he can't get no further. Get out of there, bro.
You don't need another job.
No. Go back to Patriots, bro.
What's coming up tomorrow? End of the bench.
The end of the bench is going to be a interesting show tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot about voting rights, the insurrection, and it's going to be an interesting situation.
Yeah.
How Roe versus Wade, this hasn't really nothing to do with abortion. How we need to start giving a side. Everybody's going to do what they want to do in this life, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be me, you gonna be you, and everybody gonna be everybody. But we're gonna have to start really looking sideways at these black Republicans, especially now.
Yeah.
These Texas Republicans have taken the racial gloves clean off. Remember a couple months ago, I said Texas, Arizona, and Florida are the battleground states. That's where they run out these foolish rules and laws. They test them in those places. If they catch on, then it's all over the country. You had the Texas Republican Party had a conference the week after Juneteenth. No, the week of Juneteenth. And they literally said, we are going after the Voters' Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, and they're also going after Griswold versus Connecticut. And Clarence Thomas, who at this point, I believe he's functioning on like 8% of his brain, because Clarence Thomas said the right to marry who you want, and that is a case called Lovick versus Virginia.
Yeah.
The reason I even gonna bring that up, Lovick versus Virginia was in 1958. And this gave you the right to marry who you want to marry.
And they didn't make it legal to what, 75?
Till 75. You ready for this? Without Lovick versus Virginia, Clarence Thomas wouldn't be married to Jenny Thomas, and we wouldn't have the first president in the history of the black person in the history of America.
Come on, man. Come on.
And I'm gonna talk about how it was 100 people at the insurrection who won primaries, who are primed to go into office. So hey, although Mr. Cube and my brother Tariq Nasheed and my main man KRS-One, when y'all and Luther Campbell, when y'all was telling us hold your vote and voting don't matter, we need y'all to explain that to me. So yeah, and there's a couple other things I'm gonna cover. And and just for those who don't know, Griswold versus Connecticut, it's the right in 1968. It gave you the right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Drum roll, please. Gave you the right to wear a condom.
And that hasn't always been.
And it gave women the right to have birth control. And these are on this whole LGBTQ thing and abortion thing, and this runs right into my house. Yeah. And I've had arguments and debates and falling outs with people who, stop adding the LGBTQ thing. Well, guess what? If you are living in 2022, you got a cousin, a child, a grandchild, a homeboy, a homegirl who in that LGBTQ community. So are we saying F all of them but your cousin, sister, uncle, niece, nephew, or is it all of them?
But here's the thing with that, H-Rap, and I know you're giving your thoughts on your giving your reviews on your show tomorrow. People act like this gay thing just happened last week. The planet has been gay since the planet has been in existence. Like they just act like, just like when my boy Doc said, y'all think monkeypox is the only pox that was on the face of the earth? Like, I don't understand. Like, what are we doing? Like, can we stop? Like, please breathe, nigga. Damn. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Straight up, man.
Like, seriously.
So, all these people who anti this and anti that. This is the greatest game of divide and conquer in the history of the world. And I'm debating on this minority, even having the minority conversation.
Right.
Because that is calling us a minority is the greatest shell game in the history of the world.
Oh, obviously.
Europe is the smallest continent on Earth, and it's really not a continent because I paid attention to geography. I cut a whole lot of classes of geography.
It's not considered a continent.
Right, and because I don't see water on three sides of Europe. But
hey, what do I know?
Those your rules.
Ooh-wee.
But yeah, and when we're talking to these people, they don't identify as white until it's beneficial. They identify as the country that they're from. And the last time I checked, people who are descendants of enslaved Africans are the largest single population in the world. Because I've done this on my show. There are 68 million Germans in Germany. There's 111 million Russians in Russia. And it's 60 million people who are descendants of African slaves here in America.
Yeah. I've always heard Africa is the cradle of life.
Right. So for you to refer to yourself as a minority is the greatest shell game in the history of the world. And the second largest population of descendants of African slaves is in South America. So we're the global majority, and we've actually allowed people to tell us that we're minorities.
And we're scattered everywhere.
Right. So how are we the minority?
That's
right.
All right. What's coming up tomorrow on Queen 3 and King?
We are talking stories. It's called Story Time, and there are a couple of stories for those of you who know Queen 3 and King on a personal level. There's the Great Honey Bun Heist. We will tell some details of that have never been. My mama don't even know the details, and she tells this story to every girlfriend I've ever had. She thinks this is the funniest shit to tell them, and what she doesn't is that there is a lot of details that she don't even know about this story. I'm 50 years old, and nobody has ever thought to stop and ask me my perspective on the Great Honey Bun Heist. I was the fucking culprit. Talk to me about what really happened. And so I'm going to tell those stories tomorrow, never before heard. and then I'm gonna talk about how when these were famous, Rubik's cubes were
Oh,
out.
gosh.
How I blackmailed the seasoned queen into giving me hers because I didn't have one. She did, but she did something that caused her to give this fucker up so quickly, so I wouldn't tell my mama on her. So y'all gotta listen to what that was about. Okay, so that and a couple other good stories tomorrow on Queen 3 and King entitled "Once
Oh,
Upon a Time."
gosh. My,
All right,
my.
looking forward to that one. So we got End of the Bench on Built for This Network, End of the Bench on YouTube at 6 Central, and then Queen 3 and King at 7 Central, right here, BS3 TV. Oh, go ahead.
Before we
One of
go,
the things I do not push enough, is Marriage is Real right after Queen 3 and King. They come on at 8:30. And when I say Jamie and Damian Johnson, if you are married, if you are thinking about getting married, if you have been married before and may get married again, you want to watch Marriage is Real, because when I say they are dropping some knowledge, I mean they are dropping some knowledge, and I can't turn it away. So you gotta watch Marriage is Real. Gotta watch it right after Queen 3 and King on Tuesday evenings on BS3 TV.
Yeah.
Well, I want to plug one more thing on my network. In a week from Wednesday, I am going to do a young man's forum because I'm talking to some of the guys in my family. You know, my boys, my nephews. We're gonna have a grown man conversation with young men. The whole show, the premise of the show with me and BJ is two people, adult and two young adults, a 28-year-old man having a conversation with a 51-year-old man. And me and BJ talk about like Doc said, BJ mentioned the time that he was at the like, this gonna sound weird to y'all because y'all in the open carry state, but BJ was leaving the gun range. He went to this place. I almost called it what the colloquialism, but he went to Maxwell Street Polish. And the police just picked him out of nowhere and said, "Open your trunk." And he had his gun in there. He ain't got arrested. That's what BJ was talking about, dog. And he thought I was gonna be upset with him, but I was like, "Nah, you didn't do anything wrong." But we gonna have these conversations because this is I'm literally piggybacking from a conversation that Justin and CJ had, and it is a definite disconnect between the young men and the older men. And
absolutely.
we're going to talk about things like it's an old African tradition when us four, all of us are either close to 40 or older than 40. Me and Doc being the oldest at 51, and
Change that name.
Me and Doc being the oldest. I'm 51. We'll be 52 in about 40 days. Doc is 51. And y'all in y'all late 30s. And it's a tradition. Like I've had this annoyance in my presence a few times in recent time. Me and another 51-year-old man talking, and his boy started talking. And I was like, "Hey man, shut up." You know, I ain't tell him that, but because he wasn't my boy. But if it had been BJ, I've never had to tell BJ that, because me and my cousins who were close like brothers to the point where their two boys thought I was their uncle. And they don't talk when we talk. And there's just little nuances like that when young men see older men talk. And CJ and them was saying you know how that generation has an issue communicating with us. So we gonna we gonna have that conversation in a week from Wednesday. It's gonna be my nephews, me, my boys, and you know, it's just, I think it's time for us to start talking to these young men about being young men and how they see the world.
Right.
Because, you know, I noticed like with my daughter, she talks about her opinion a lot. And I respect my daughter's opinion. She's an insanely intelligent young person. and even smarter. You know, me and her had a conversation about about 2 months ago now, and I was standing like, "Whoa, you're a grown woman."
Yeah.
But us three here as men, we can remember our parents didn't give a damn about our opinion. And hell, even at this age, if we walked in, right, when we walked into a room with our parents today and they start talking, we better go. We have to be invited into the conversation. I think that concept is a missing concept. God gave you 2 ears for a reason. He needed you to listen more than you talk.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring it back old
school. I mean,
to
H-Rap, and to H-Rap's point, you know, my grandmother being, when she was living, a Sunday school teacher, and she taught the adult Sunday school class. But when those ladies would come over and they would, whether it was more information about the word or if it could have been anything happening in their marriage or something like that. That was none of my business. It was when I walked into that living room, I eased into the living room.
Right.
Because that was, grown people are talking. Whether I knocked on the wall or I said, "Excuse me, grandmother," or something like that, it was definitely one of those moments where it was like, oh, well, let me find a breaking point, because you just didn't play in the middle of the floor when grown people were talking.
Right.
My grandmother, once I saw a company came over, or whether it be a church member or a neighbor, I go to the other room because ain't nothing in there in none of my business. So to H-Rap's point, you know, I definitely clearly remember all of that. Like that is just one thing that has always been like, don't you see 2 grown people talking? And just have a sense enough to know that, excuse me, grandmother, or excuse me, Mrs. Whatever, you know, who was there. But yeah, that's out the window.
Yeah, and it's missing. And I can't, I don't know if it's missing down there, but I will go to my grave saying, people up north, Milwaukee, Chicago, Cleveland, St. Louis, so forth and so on. I will go to my grave saying it's because we stopped sending our young people down there.
Yeah.
When they hit that southern soil, when your feet hit that southern soil, it's a different.
Oh, absolutely. Because it was a way of respecting the ancestors, I guess. And I could be wrong. You can correct me.
I agree with you.
I feel like it was something that was just passed down. You know, like, you know, take your hat off when you come in this house. Stand up when a woman is at the table and sit down. You know, or
all that stuff.
Don't watch your mouth in front of, you know, things like that. Where, you know, I remember growing up, like I said, when I came into the world, we were still having family reunions, and I thank God for my cousins that I got to meet before they passed on, and they were a lot older than me, generations. I mean, but that stuff, like, I never will forget that, because that was things that were instilled and presented to me.
Wow, you just struck a nerve, bro. Do you know I'm 51 years old, and I've never, one side of my mother's family has never in my lifetime since 1970 never had a family reunion. Our family reunions happen when somebody die. In my dad's family reunion, we've had like 2.
Right. And we've said, here's the thing, H-Rap. When we probably haven't had one in a while. I mean, we have them, but not like we used to have them. But I can honestly say that I'm pretty proud to say, like, if we were still having one right now, strong as we were when the elders were alive, it would be the 40th. It would be the 40th or 41st family reunion this year. Because when I was born, they had the first family reunion in 1981. So I felt pride in that, because it was like, man, y'all started the family reunion when I was born. You know, in my head, it's like, that's a big deal. You know, cousins and aunts and cousins that are long gone and moved on and things like that. But, you know, that stuff resonates with me, because it was one of those, it was still the yes sir and the yes ma'am, and just having a good time and just enjoying each other. Who cares if you, just like with this movie, who cares if you had differences? you handled those differences, or
Right.
you knew who the black sheep of the family was. You
So
you interacted with them, but you still embraced them. Period. Like
right.
you knew, but you
Yeah.
didn't let great grandmama know, or you didn't let
Oh
them
no,
know.
yeah, you was cooked.
Right?
You
Yeah,
act
it's
funny with
over.
anybody with a grandmama on deck.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
wrap.
But hey, hell, I'm from the point where when I was growing up, when an elder came around and you were drinking, you put the drink behind your back, or you put the drink down
Okay,
when you
watch
in their
this, bro.
presence.
You man, you touching great points. Let me give you two scenarios with that drinking thing. 1991, I turned 21, August 6, 1991.
Mm,
My mother gave me a gift, and she also bought me a case of beer.
mm,
My mother didn't drink milk
right.
for the first week of me. Now, I'm outside drinking. Y'all don't remember this. Y'all too young for this. Drinking this drink called Cisco.
Oh, I
Cisco was
remember
so
Cisco.
strong. They was called no. You got the
I didn't. Right.
you got the downgraded. Hey, they was calling that joint
Yeah.
liquid crack,
Wow.
bruh.
I,
I remember me and my homeboy Benito Swain and Brian Allen. We went and we bought 3 bottles of Cisco.
mm,
The liquor store was on 1600.
yeah.
By the time we walked to 1442,
You're out of there.
the world was spinning. And it looked like a dude, they literally, it was so powerful. They took it off the street.
Yeah.
You know how strong a liquor got to be for them to take it out the
Right, for
street.
them to take it off. And I remember Cisco, but like H Rap said, it was watered down by the
Yeah, it was
time.
watered down
I
by then.
remember, yeah.
So look, my mother got me this case of beer. In my mind, in order to drink this beer, I hid the beer behind the milk. And it took me 15 minutes to figure out how to walk and have the beer move with my right leg. So she wouldn't see it. And it took a week for me to go, she bought the beer.
Yeah.
My
A
favorite
couple
drink.
of years later, I was about 27.
Yeah.
Me and my mother would go to lunch for my birthday. She would give me a gift. We would go to lunch.
Yeah.
And we were at this restaurant downtown Chicago. And this is a true story. Oh, that Billy D was powerful. hey, ask Big Illinois. Ask Big Illinois about that Billy D. I got a funny. Hey, I'll let if Big Illinois ever come back on the show, I'll let Big Illinois tell that story. It's hilarious. But here's the second situation. I'm about 27 years old. My mama called me. She said, "You want to come downtown? We're gonna go to breakfast. I'm at lunch." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm sitting across from my mother. We laughing and joking, having a great time, right? Next thing you know, the waitress walks up. My mother ordered, I still remember, she ordered Monte Cristo. And she ordered, I don't remember what she ordered. My mother didn't order. My mother had liquor in her house my whole life, and I'd never seen my mother take a drink.
Yeah.
But it was this. So the waitress come to me. I ordered whatever I ordered. And I was like, what would you like to drink? I was like, a lemonade. Because I wanted to say beer so bad. And she fell out laughing. She's like, you can have the beer. I was like, no, I don't want it. No,
I'm good.
I was like, let me get a lemonade.
I mean, that was just, and I thank God for me being raised in that era, because like I said, I was born in 81, but I still had those cousins and those uncles and those distant, those down the line cousins and those married into the family, whatever it was. You still had that imagery of the respect was there. Because here's the thing about the family reunion. They knew we had family members that would get shit-faced drunk, but they wouldn't get shit-faced drunk in front of the elders.
Yeah, until the old folks went in the house.
Thank you.
Or left the cookout.
Exactly. Thank you, H-Rap. It was just that mindset of respect. It was one of those things where it's like, look, I'm doing this. And I know it ain't right in your eyes, but I'm still doing it. But it was just one of those things where it just put something in you. It's just like you had that level of respect. Now
Yes.
it's one of those things where, yeah, I know you don't like it when I do it, but I'm not going to do it in front of you because then it's going to make you feel some kind of way.
Right.
So that's why
Yeah.
even in this movie, when Vanessa Bell was saying, "Boy, didn't we teach you better than that?" He had the respect of his mom. He had the love of his mom, but he was still going to do what he wanted to do because, like, hey, that's your way, mom, but this not
Yeah.
my way.
This
Oh,
ain't
But I'm
no.
not going to try to bring family shame with what I'm doing. I don't want you to see this. So it's just one of those things where that's why I said this movie really kind of just it was reminding me of certain things like that and how I was brought up. So it was interesting to see that.
And that drinking relative to dude who always got way too
It's-
out of there.
Oh
You know
man, I
what?
could
He was also the protector
yeah.
because
He-
let's
Oh, I
say
was
let's
yeah.
say it's my cousin Pam and Pam's friend Angel.
Right.
If Angel didn't have a crazy uncle, they
Right.
went and told our crazy uncle,
Right. Right.
and
Oh,
he was
absolutely.
like, he was,
Absolutely. It's just like what like H Rap is saying. I don't care how drunk this guy is getting. He's still sharp enough to know you getting home okay?
yeah,
You doing
how
all
you
right?
getting home?
Who was that in the car right there? He might be pissy drunk, but
yeah.
he watching. He
He's
on it.
still, he's still
And
looking out.
I remember seeing that as a kid. It was just like that it's just something that's just instilled where this is me, but I still have that demeanor within me to be the protector, like H Rap was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Shout
that's
out,
something that
shout out to bro Mike in the building. He said my favorite drink, Cisco.
Hey, I've heard some stories about that Cisco, man.
25, Billy D. How about a nice Colt 45?
that Billy
Yeah.
D was a monster.
It used to be called liquid crack. What's up?
I
Yep.
told you that Cisco.
He said
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember some stories. I remember some stories about Cisco, and the only reason, like in to H Rap's point, the only reason I remember it because I had older generations before me. But by the time it was watered down. It wasn't the same. I don't even know if they
Put
even.
like this, I had one bottle of that
Yeah,
in all the years I was drinking because I remember dude, it was so, dude, it was like, it was, dude, I've never drank one of anything and was like,
yeah, right,
we
right.
had to sit down. Dude, we was walking down Cedric Street. That's the block me and Big
Oh,
Illinois live on.
yeah,
And you're not supposed to sit down in front of our entrances.
yeah.
Dude, I was so, like, I had to get my bearings so hard. I sat up under the no loitering sign like this, like,
Wow. Yeah, because if you move, you gonna fall off the face of the earth.
man, I was like, whoa, this is unreal.
Yes. Oh, that OE was. Oh God.
But see, they'll never touch me, man.
But see, but see, that's the thing about some of my family members because they would drink that that malt liquor, and get ripped, like just get. Oh man, I'm like, how much you
They be
drink?
all hot. They be all, I feel hot inside.
Oh yeah, you sweating with that malt liquor, boy. Hey,
Yeah.
last time I had malt liquor was I
Ah.
want to say 95.
Oh
Uh
gosh.
we went down to we went down to Southern Illinois University to throw them hands. A
Man.
homeboy Craig had just got jumped by some Sigmas.
Mm.
And it was a church of us down the interstate, like we finna tear this campus up. And they had made peace by the time we got down there. And we went and bought 2 cases
Oh no.
Big Mouth Mickeys.
Oh gosh, not the Mickeys.
Mickey.
Green and gold, baby. Green and gold.
Man, green and gold, man.
Green and gold, baby.
They had an FBI. Look, ironically, Craig ended up working for the FBI.
Wow.
And ironically, after we had so many of them, I was drinking them joints like, bah, 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 bah.
Oh gosh.
We
no.
drank 2. It was me, Stacy, Tracy, Craig,
And they had
Aaron,
cowboys.
Pat, Draz, and a
40s,
couple
too.
more. We drank 2 cases that night.
Ah.
And Stacy, I don't remember who it was. They peed on the lawn of the FBI.
Oh, wow.
And somebody was like, "That's the FBI." And his response was, "Look, man, I'm a taxpayer. I paid for this grass."
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Yeah, they're going to put you in your jail."
Yeah. The one you paying for.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Rev is right. That Mickey's was gas.
That Mickey's was, oh gosh, man.
Oh, and then the big mouth joints, you could drink,
because they would
bottle
so
in like a mouthful, like
so it can flow better.
That's what it
and
did.
then they had a nerve to have 40s with the Mickeys, but then the tall boys with the wide mouth on it.
I ain't gonna say no names, but that same night, one of the homies' girlfriend was way out. She was, and I'm a little, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And man, because my constitution, I don't know why it's always been high. And she was, and I'm just standing there. We laying on the wall, and I see it out of my corner of my eye. But she was always barking, so her barking was nothing. But that Mickey's in my man, and I literally had to step over and catch him out of the air because he was about to lam on her, man. No joke.
Oh, wow.
No joke. I ain't gonna say his name, but
that Mickey's
I literally called homeboy out the air.
No,
man.
Yeah, he don't need no domestic. He don't need no domestic on that Mickey's.
No, this is before the domestic. This is
before the domestic.
This is you can probably sock a chick and not even get arrested.
Yeah. Go on about your business.
This is pre-juice.
Yeah,
but,
put it to sleep.
I called Buddy out of the air. He was like, "How did you see him?" I was like, "Hey, I don't know."
Slow motion, man.
Yeah, it was because I was like, "No." I called him and walked him out of the joint, man. And this ain't 280-pound H-Rap. This was when I was playing basketball every day. I'm gonna send y'all a picture of what my size was. This wasn't this H-Rap. This is a little dude.
Don't risk it all, buddy. Don't risk it all.
175-pound H-Rap.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, y'all. We gonna wrap it up. Thank you, buddy, for tuning in to the Fourcast. We will not be on next week. Next week is July 4th. So we'll be back the week after that.
When they gonna call it Frederick Douglass Day?
Right. Yeah.
Second Tuesday next week.
February 1st. We'll be back on the 11th, reviewing 13th. We'll have a special guest, AJ Jones.
That's gonna be hot.
That's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
So make sure to tune in on the 11th. Thank you, everybody in the comments. New viewers, new people commenting. We appreciate that. Continue to support BS3 Network. Also support End of the Bench as well. And we will leave it to you, H-Rap.
Salute to Reggie O'Shea. Salute to Craig Smith. And I always say this, dream those dreams and man up a woman up and live your dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor and surround sound. And y'all already know, man. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Peace. What you need to know, Sybil Wilkes. Close us out.
Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, June 27th, 2022. Number 1, the Supreme Court ruling handed down Friday confirmed a leaked document and the worst fears of women's rights supporters had come true. In the Justice Samuel Alito draft released last month, the country was warned that the 49-year-old constitutional ruling, Roe v. Wade, establishing abortion as a federal right in the United States, was on its way out. The protest, while appropriate symbols of anger and fear of pro-choice supporters, it reached a feverish pitch over the past month. There are a number of options, including the power of protesting, joining and supporting organizations, and economic engagement to combat the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The key to the Supreme Court decision is to act now and be strategic in your planning. The time to act is now. Read more in today's newsletter. Number 3, Pfizer announced Saturday that tweaking its COVID-19 vaccine to better target the Omicron variant is safe and works, just days before regulators debate whether to offer Americans updated booster shots this fall. The vaccines currently used in the U.S. still offer strong protection against severe COVID-19 disease and death, especially if people have gotten a booster dose. Now, with Omicron's even more transmissible relatives spreading widely, the FDA is considering ordering a recipe change for the vaccines in hopes that modified boosters could better protect against another COVID-19 surge. Number 4, Everett Jackson, a 21-year-old Louisiana State University basketball player who is black, went missing June 11th while tubing with his white girlfriend, Gracie Colca. According to reports, Jackson, who is from Raceland, Louisiana, traveled to Emmett, Idaho to visit Colca. They went tubing on the Payette River, which was reportedly experiencing high water level surges due to recent heavy rains. Jackson's family traveled to Idaho to search the banks of the river for several days, and Jackson's body was found June 19th by a search volunteer about 2 miles from where the accident occurred. Number 5. Furious about surging prices at the gasoline station and the supermarket, many consumers feel they know just where to cast blame on greedy companies that relentlessly jack up prices and pocket the profits. Responding to that sentiment, the Democrat-led House of Representatives last month passed on a party-line vote, most Democrats for all Republicans against, a bill designed to crack down on alleged price gouging by energy producers. Likewise, last month, Britain announced plans to impose a temporary 25% windfall tax on oil and gas company profits and to funnel the proceeds to financially struggling households. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. There is a time for everything, a time for war and a time for peace. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with Chris Paul, Huggy Lowdown, and Coy Malone, and our friend, attorney extraordinaire C.K. Hoffler, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.